Live. Probably have to refresh.
You shouldn't have to, but
Hello, anybody who's watching this in after the fact, and anybody who's watching this now, if there are anybody's. Y'all good, Adam?
Yes.
Is my audio okay?
Don't know. Just kidding.
Okay. Hello, Firelight. Be most surprised if any decent number of people make it because this is super, super, super last minute.
I have to show off for Firelight, although I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
if you can.
Check the beard.
I don't know.
Blue. Dabin-dee, dabin-die.
I should have kept with a different colored shirt. It would have made it a little bit easier to tell.
KJ likes your beard.
There's 3 of us now.
If you're going to grow a wild man beard, you should definitely color it blue. Faux show. Oh, shoot. I forgot to grab a clipboard. I'll be right back.
That's Julie.
Yep. I'm bad at this.
All right.
Bad at this.
So Julian has not shared a theme with me yet, so sky's the limit.
Yeah, there's no the theme this month is panic because Julian is super behind. That's
So,
the theme.
Any thoughts or suggestions are fair game at the moment for what they should draw. If you've got some old favorites that Julian adamantly refuses to draw, you can bring them up again today.
Try again.
Maybe we'll get her to draw them.
I'm gonna start out just drawing what I want because
What
that
you
gives you
really
guys
want.
time to roll in and to talk. Oh, we already lost somebody. Who'd we lose already?
I think they were a non-commenter.
They probably just wandered in here organically and were like, she's not even on screen. Why am I watching this stream?
All right. So we've got a zombie orca and a distinguished gentleman octopus. I am delighted by both these suggestions.
The zombie orca might require me to look up some whale anatomy. I don't know how I feel about that. Anything that I have to research, I'm like,
It's not that hard to figure out.
The orcas don't need to be zombies to be scary.
Excellent. Firelight has come prepared with unhinged suggestions.
As always.
But they'll keep it sensible with the zombie orca to start.
Starting us off easy with the suggestion of the zombie orca. Later, they'll hit us with the really heavy-hitting bullshit. And I mean bullshit in an affectionate way.
I think it is KJ we owe an apology to right now.
Uh-oh.
Because they were the one that gave us the book codes, but we are lazy.
So behind.
And have not Googled how to redeem those book codes. So apologies. I do intend to listen to them. And
I have to Google it every time somebody gives me a code for what's it called? Oh, God, I can't even remember what it's called. The thingy, what you listen to, Audible, that thingy.
KJ showed up prepared today with one suggestion.
Everybody's more prepared than me, and I'm the one drawing. Okay. Well, at least one of them's bound to strike my fancy. Or if it doesn't strike my fancy, I will get desperate enough and draw it.
Hi. So Julian has tasked me with attempting to be entertaining today.
I figured it'd be probably a pretty small stream since I announced this the literal last minute.
So I'm going to talk initially about what is most present on my mind, the video game I'm playing.
Oh ho ho. Sorry, everyone.
Hey, I'm gonna branch it off into stories and writing.
You also got to keep an eye on that chat. Multitask.
Ooh, fire! I'm keeping. Yeah, I'm already multitasking. I'm entertaining. I'm keeping an eye on the chat, and I'm responding to you, which of course I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Firelight saw Ghost and got really excited for a second because there's a white cat named Ghost in one of their short stories, but then they remembered that's one they shall.
We have a cat named Ghost living on our property. She's our barn cat.
I'm guessing you put them on a reel or something.
Oh yeah, I think I posted a picture that was like of her in the hay, being like, "A barn cat will assign itself to you."
Because KJ got excited seeing that.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you. That's just our barn kitty. Get your hopes up.
So the game I'm playing is called The Last Spell, and it's basically like end of the world, small group of survivors, zombie hordes forever, and I suppose there is the in video games we get a lot of this. Your bastion is 100% the last bastion at the end of the world. And in writing, at least the writing I've encountered, there's not very much of you're absolutely the last bastion. Though there are many apocalyptic ones. So I wanted to prod the chat to see if they, one, knew of any that were the last bastion, or two, had any interesting ideas of what would be fun to play with in a story in such a scenario. Like, dang. Yes, everyone is authors here, well, except me.
Poor Adam is all left out. I mean, we've got 7 people on now, so there could be somebody lurking who's not an author. Lurk.
In my defense, then, I have no authorial skills. I do have cook skills, and I'm currently munching on some roasted peppers I made the other day.
All right. So I just wanted to draw a unicorn, so I drew a unicorn because I'm the boss for a few more seconds. All right. What are my suggestions? We got
zombie orca.
Anything else?
But that's the best one.
No. What else?
Gentlemanly octopi.
I think Liz drew that one time.
I'm certain they did.
Yeah. I mean, I can be as cartoony as I want with an octopus, so. Have we got anything else, so I can start thinking about it and ruining everyone's hopes?
KJ is showing me up because they not only are they an author, they left the room to stir the salsa they are making, so they're also a cook.
That's right, Adam. Get on their level.
Kazikam likes the octopi idea, but wants an octopus in boots.
Boots, huh? Oddly specific.
Firelight is suggesting Finric as a kingfisher. That is their second idea. KJ is trying to make me feel better, assuaging my feelings that I am a better cook. As they're just more of a homesteader and have too many tomatoes. They can make about 5 things. They play.
We're kind of also homesteaders a little bit, like aspiring homesteaders.
Our homesteader journey. We have eggs.
We do have eggs. We also have horse. A lot of homesteaders have those. We also have tomatoes, but got them in the ground too late probably, so we do not have a plethora of tomatoes.
Finnick as a kingfisher is the Hunger Games. Finnick is a clarity. And KJ is urging us not to be homesteaders. Don't do it. It's a trap, they say.
What about it is a trap? I must know.
Everything. So much work. Yeah. KJ says they love it, but it is an enormous amount of work.
Don't think we'll ever get to like be proper homesteaders.
I hope to be high-tech homesteaders. I want to make a greenhouse and then install a farm bot to farm the greenhouse for me, so I don't have to. So I get to tell my story, my prompt again, which is the video game that I'm working on right now is The Last Spell, and it's basically you are the final settlement at the end of the world, and there's a decent amount of post-apocalypse or apocalypse literature out there, but I haven't encountered too many personally that are the last settlements at the end of the world. And I was wondering if any of you had any suggestions for books that were like that, or ideas of what you would personally like to write in such a scenario.
But also keep coming up with unhinged things for me to draw.
Now, you're 3 behind already.
I'm not 3 behind. I draw what I want.
Octopi.
I'm drawing an octopus right now, but he's
not in boots.
No, he's a dapper gentleman. I think the boots would interfere.
Kingfisher, and then zombie orca.
Get
to draw.
The boots would interfere with this octopus's dapperness, so he's not wearing boots. I don't want to draw boots.
In fact, draw one that has found a boot on the bottom of the ocean and is like wearing it as a hat.
Now you're making demands.
Has crawled inside and is now like octopi snail. My first prompt is not successful.
No, there's not that many people in the chat. Only 4 and you.
KJ mentions, as far as the post-apocalyptic thing, that makes my darker writing personality come out. So I don't know that I should make suggestions. Oh, and I haven't read your books yet, so I can't.
He doesn't know how dark you actually go.
Although we really should get it this week because we've got a couple long drives ahead of us. We could listen an audio book together.
True, although I'm supposed to start listening to Wheel of Time.
Yes. Okay, we'll put headsets in, and you can listen to Wheel of Time in your headset, and Callison and I can listen to KJ's dark spooks.
Well, I want to listen to the dark stuff, man.
I mean, we could all listen to Wheel of Time together.
Has Cassidy's read Wheel of Time, right?
Up until the slog. I think the slog defeated them.
Understandable. That is understandable. All right, I'm running out of things for this octopus to be holding that gentleman might hold. Any suggestions?
Pocket watch.
Ooh, pocket watch. That's a good one. It got a monocle already.
Eyeglasses.
A monocle and eyeglasses?
Yes, he's got 8 hands or tentacles. Those little, like, I'm watching the...
Oh, opera glasses?
Opera glasses things. Teacup.
Got that.
Tea saucer.
Yep.
Tea mixing spoon. Honey dolloper. Honey pot. Hat. Cane. Umbrella. other hat.
Adamus brought all the suggestions. Let's see. 4 or 5.
Firelight don't know about settlements at the end of the world, but I always get annoyed with the last person on Earth, where it's not actually the last person on Earth. I have shelved a story that was that.
It's always the last person on Earth is never actually the last person on Earth.
Unless it's the Twilight Zone. I think they did an episode or two where it was actually the last person on Earth.
Time Enough at Last, I think. He didn't do a whole lot of looking for other people, but there's a couple of great one-line horror stories that I heard that are like, the last man on Earth sat alone in a room. There was a knock at the door, and the last man on Earth sat alone in the room. There was a lock on the door. Those are like 2 one-line horror stories that I've heard with that premise.
Those are interesting ones. Yes.
All right, let's see. Oh, I was going to give him an umbrella.
All right. JJ and Firelight are having a dark off in the room over who's darker.
I'm going to read your stuff and be like, this isn't that dark. I don't read any of it myself. I just let other YouTubers read it for me. But there's dark romances where, like, it's just basically just an excuse to write incest.
A marvelous geek mentions that our octopi discussion reminds them of an octopus they drew in school. But instead of a dapper gentleman, he was depressed. Oh, you could have a tie. You could have a tie in a tentacle. You could have a vest in a tentacle that he was about to put on. Let's see. We have another teacup and saucer recommendation. All right. Firelight's getting ahead because Julian is still behind in the drawing, but there's a third suggestion is Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle as a lady mouse, because book Sophie has that kind of vibe, even if it's in movie Sophie style. I'm almost thinking Sophie's more of a hedgehog than a mouse, personally.
I could see that. I've tried to draw Sophie before. I'm bad at her dress. Unlike Studio Ghibli, I have not sat around studying the way that women's dresses flap in the wind, so I have not mastered the artful way that they do dresses.
Indeed, 'tis a skill. Kazia. I'm going to go Kazia. Maybe Kazia C. Wrote a short story about the last human survivor. Technically not on Earth, and it was fun to write. Though they did shelve it. What did you enjoy most about writing that scenario, Kaze C?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do we get? Oh no, that's 7.
Firelight,
7 legs.
In their shelved one wasn't quite the last one on Earth, but the Earth is blowed up.
Poor Earth. I mean, really.
Oh, KJ read Sophie as a moose instead of a mouse.
A moose. Oh my goodness. That's a completely different vibe. That's the side of Sophie that will fuck you up.
Oh, no, I'm corrected. I said mouse, but they did indeed write moose.
Okay, that is a different vibe than I expected.
With horns, but not because lady moose.
Why doesn't anybody want me to draw cute little chubby animals? I'm so much better at cute little chubby animals.
Are chubby
They are
animals.
not. They are not. They're a
so.
weird shape. I don't draw a lot of sea mammals.
They have a chubby shape.
They have a weird shape.
Chubby shape.
How about an orca that's not a zombie? Like, anybody else got any orca ideas that are not zombie? I think zombies would be hard to get across. A dapper to go with the octopus.
and there's a as a cameo Easter egg, as an Easter egg from the stream, there can be one octopi tentacle reaching out from behind the orca that is like holding a spectacle or the viewing glasses or something like that.
I'm almost done. See, I probably should not draw another octopus because this is taking a long time on account of it has a lot of legs.
KJ suggests, what about a hedgehog with a top-hatted mouth? We're going dapper.
This is a dapper vibe. I'm not against the dapper vibe, I gotta say.
I see why Firelight gets the moose vibes for Sophie, because Book Sophie will fuck you up. Ooh, KJ alternatively suggests a hedgehog is a king with a crown and a cape.
It's interesting putting things on hedgehogs' heads on account of they're so bristly.
Mm-hmm. Could be like on their back or shoulder spikes. Kazi C mentions it was interesting to go through all the emotions of realizing they were the last human and what that entails for them and for their humanity. And how far they would go in restoring humanity, and if that would even be ethical.
They'd have to clone themselves, probably.
Well, there might be.
That reminds me of the Bobaverse.
Yes.
All right, here he is, one dapper octopus that took a long time because of all of the arms. There he is. Behold him. All right, were there any other suggestions for the orca? Otherwise, I might take one of the hedgehog ones.
We're growing suggestions for hedgehog. KJ mentions that the hedgehog could have a bunch of marshmallows and be sitting next to a campfire. In fact, you should draw a bunch of animals eating marshmallows, and like the hedgehog is just like slowly rotating by the fire with like 80 marshmallows roasting on his spine.
He's like tied to one of those like spit things like people are when the cannibals are going to eat them in all the movies or whatever, but he's just roasting marshmallows and they just turn the whole hedgehog. I'm starting with the dapper gentleman hedgehog just because, and then might go from there. I like him because he's round. Little round animals are fun to draw. Round and chubby.
KJ, so we got everyone is very satisfied with your cute and distinguished gentlemanly octopi. KJ is curious if I have played Soma, because that is a bit like the last person on Earth vibe. And I have not played Soma. I would prefer to play that type of survival type game with people instead of just solo by myself. The last spell is a tactically combated one, so a little bit different from Soma. A marvelous geek suggests we keep doing dapper animals and also talking about dark stuff. You should do a dapper walrus, like in the Walrus and the Carpenter poem.
Dapper walrus. A dolorous, if you will.
Sounds like a character inspired by Strong Bad and Strong Bad. Firelight has a round and chubby suggestion for number 4, Doctor Strange as a mammoth.
As a mammoth. I have to know the reasoning behind that one. Because Strange is pretty agile and like lithe and floaty. So a mammoth is not something that I would think of him as. Or is it perhaps the juxtaposition?
Well, they struggle to explain themselves. I'm going to get a popsicle.
Sounds like a good idea. It's very hot here today. I mean, it's hot everywhere, but you know, everyone's all like, it's almost fall. Fall is here. And it's like 91 here today. Like, just because kids are going back to school doesn't mean fall is here. Settle down. I get it. Fall is exciting, but like one step at a time. What color popsicle did you get?
Pink.
Pink.
I was going to let Nigel out in case he wanted to visit the stream, but he's not finished his supper yet.
Naughty boy. It's too hot. None of the animals want to eat their food tonight.
Yeah. So Firelight's reasoning for the mammoth Doctor Strange is they just wanted a mammoth, and Doctor Strange is complicated, and it was properly unhinged together.
So wait, so you're trying to give me complicated things?
Yes.
You want me to draw slow?
Firelight told you they got progressively more unhinged.
Unhinged, I understand. Unhinged doesn't always necessarily mean complicated. I'm making this little dapper hedgehog more complicated than he needs to be, actually.
A Marvelous Geek mentions that Doctor Strange, gesturing wildly with a fuzzy mammoth trunk like the Snuffleupagus, is a very funny image. And I can see that, using the trunk to do all your arcane gestures.
It'd be difficult, because a lot of it uses two hands.
True. All right, Firelight has a new orca suggestion.
Okay.
Enough orca.
I was just thinking about Barbie stuff because Adam had a pink popsicle. It's like, hi, Barbie. All right, here is my dapper hedgehog. He is waiting for a bus and just sitting with his luggage. And he's adorable. And I love him. He's my son.
KJ appreciates his bow tie.
He's so cute. His little bow tie.
KJ also suggests a sparrow or some other round, fat bird as a dapper gentleman if we're doing dapper. Mayhap we should do a hummingbird.
I could do a hummingbird. There's one by your feeder right now. Hello, buddy.
And he's modeling for
Oh, then he flew away. And there's another one. We have a little hummingbird feeder, and it's very popular right now.
Indeed. Apparently, this year was an amazing year for hummingbirds all across the U.S., but in particular in our area as well. I think we
in our yard.
Something around 6 to 12 hummingbirds, and yes, they go through their hummingbird feeder in like 3 days, 3 to 4 days. They will drain the hummingbird feeder. They're going through so much of it.
All right, what's the orca suggestion? That wasn't a zombie. I remember an orca suggestion. And I liked it, but then immediately I was like, oh no, my hedgehog needs a suitcase, and focused on that instead.
A enough orca.
A knuff orca. How do I turn it? How do I make an orca knuff? Do I put it in a hoodie? Like what?
A hoodie and then the hoodie as the lower label, and then the poofy robe as the outer layer on top of the hoodie.
I have to look up how orcas look because they are kind of a funny shape. It's kind of like a bratwurst with a face. All right. I'm not even looking at the stream anymore because I'm looking at orcas, Adam. So you're in charge.
How many are you done with?
I have done 3, and I need to do 9.
Because the stream has just reached 30 minutes.
Wow, that's big. You know why? You want to know why? This thing.
Excuses.
I started drawing like immediately. All right. Okay. Orca, who is Kanaf, and it's all y'all's fault for trying to come up with complicated animals for me.
Hey, they started simple. They did Finnegan as a fish.
No, finnick as some other type of bird.
Oh no, kingfisher. You're right.
I don't know how to draw orcas.
AJ does protest that your octopi is very cute, though.
He did turn out super, super cute, but he took a long time.
All right. Poll for the chat. If you were the last Homo sapiens alive and you had the resources to bring humanity back through cloning or what have you, would you?
Or dark magics.
Dark magics. You have a solution to bring humanity back. If you were the last Homo sapiens.
Transforming a bunch of gerbils into humans.
KJ is a resounding no.
Humans have had their chance. What the heck is this brown hair? It's probably our niece's.
Yes, it is very likely our nieces. Firelights, a resounding
A hearty eh.
Marvelous Geek suggests SCP-2000. So I think they want to make us robots instead of humans.
Is that one of those things that Nikki's always trying to get us to listen to?
Yes, it is, because it's the SCP Foundation, and
What's the 2000th one?
we have listened to several, and I've listened to more, so we do know what SCPs are.
We do. I don't listen religiously. I think it's a cool idea, but like I can't listen to a bunch of them all at once. The storytelling style isn't my favorite.
So I think a Marvelous Geek is in favor of bringing us back using the SCP-2000.
Okay, whatever that is.
If Firelight clarifies their resounding with if humans are so affected that it's just me, maybe it didn't work out. A Marvelous Geek does clarify, if we wiped their cells out, no. If it was some other cataclysmic event, maybe. Wow. I don't know what it says about your audience, Julian, that they're all just like, I can restore humanity, but fuck it. No, we're not going to restore humanity.
I don't know. It makes perfect sense because that's probably what I would say too.
What if it was discovered that, like, what if humanity, Homo sapiens, is the only intelligent species out there, and something happened, cosmic ray burst, wiped out all except you, and you had the tech to begin bringing us back? If we were the only intelligent species ever discovered, would you bring us back in that case?
Are the corvids still alive?
Maybe.
Because I would just be like, it's your planet now, y'all.
KJ says y'all being willing to just like let humanity go is because you're all creatives, and creatives be like this.
Fuck it. All right, here is. Wait, let me get back to the stream so I can make sure I'm actually showing people. Here is the orca who is Kenneth. All right, next.
You have so many suggestions that you've ignored.
What are they, Adam?
Go back through the chat.
I feel like another
the
hedgehog. Hit me
kingfisher.
with a hedgehog one.
What?
I'm feeling like another hedgehog. I know there are a couple hedgehogs.
King with a crown and a cake. Or a hedgehog roasting marshmallow.
Yeah, the marshmallow hedgehog. I'm probably not going to do other animals because that takes a long time, but I might do.
No. See, the other cards are other animals eating marshmallows that they got from the hedgehog.
Yeah, Adam always wants me to try to make like a series so that if you put them together, they make a full picture. But then they'd all go to different parts of the country and even different countries, and no one would ever be able to make the full picture.
Well, when you're famous and dead in some future
Famous and dead.
world,
Caveat. Famous, also dead.
People could go on a grand adventure to try to collect and build these together and be worth a ton of money. And or you could fans could go on challenge mode and try to unite together to meet in person and bring their postcards so that the animals you drew, the friends who had marshmallows around the fire pit could return together and share stories about their travels and adventures. Heck, you just might inspire some of your authorly following to also write stories about the adventures of
all
these
6 of them.
traveling animals.
Adam has a lot more faith in my ability to become famous than I do. That's for darn sure.
Husband is brilliant, and you just need to listen to his ideas.
Well, the first part of it is become famous, which I'm doing very poorly at. And the second part is become dead, and I'm not in a huge hurry for that one either.
No. That is like the second and the third parts. It's probably even the second.
Oh,
and
okay.
eighth
Okay,
part.
the steps are draw cute animals on multiple postcards. Send them to 2, send them to different parts of the world. 3, become famous. 4, die. 5, profit?
That was my second option. That's not mine.
The stream is unhinged already.
As a reminder, Sophie, Moose, Finnegan, Kingfisher, Doctor Strange, Mammoth.
I love that you say his name differently every time.
I say Doctor Strange the same.
No,
every time.
Finnick. You say Finnick's name differently every time.
An adjustment to the hedgehog, he could be roasting a marshmallow in front of him, but there are a ton of marshmallows stuck to his back. And Firelight's final unhinged prepared idea, Leela as a pig with tusks, holding a piglet with fangs as a lapdog because pig ran.
You know, it's a pretty good one because we all know that the pig chapter both broke and formed me as who I am today. The pig challenge. That's if you don't know what the pig challenge is, I'm sorry, but you need to leave.
A Marvelous Geek clarifies the stages. Step 4, die. Step 5, husband profits.
I'm also making the little marshmallow hedgehog way more complicated than he needs to be because of who I am as a person.
You basically turn KJ into a drooling automaton as they listen to that chapter. They say they just think they just stared at that screen slack-jawed when they heard your read along of that chapter.
Like, why anything in that chapter? But especially why did they take away the deadly tusks that pigs already have and give them fangs instead? Why would you do this? But also, just why that chapter? Because nothing happened with aside from the pigs eating the bodies for that Layla kills in the second book. Why any of that? I'm convinced that Jenna was drunk when she came up with the pig chapter.
Okay, they're working with genetically engineering pigs
Magically, genetically
to
engineered.
have organs we can
Oh
harvest
no, in real life, I see.
in real life to transplant. So maybe they were working in this world to genetically modify pigs to have the vampirism virus and tweak it so we can transfer it, create it in pigs, but then transfer it to humans. So that's where the vampire pigs got this thing.
I mean, that would be a lot cooler. But no, the contestants were just chased by pigs for a while, and then they stopped being chased by pigs. And that was it.
Well,
Pigs with fangs.
When you eat the pigs, they do tend to stop chasing you.
They didn't eat the pigs.
Oh.
They didn't even defeat the pigs. They just got chased for a while, and then there was like fire or something, and the pigs stopped chasing them, and that was it. And then we never saw the pigs again.
Well, you see, pigs have an ancestral memory of sponsorcles and barbecues, and the fire awoke that genetic memory, and they fled.
They
in
fled
terror of the flames.
There was so much you could have done with that chapter. Like, even with the pigs, first of all, just let them keep their tusks. And then, like, just like they all had a contestant's name painted on them. So I thought that the contestants were supposed to find the pig with their name on it and catch it. That's what I thought. But they didn't. There was no reason for their names to be written on the pigs. They just ran from the pigs, and then they got away from the pigs, and they won.
Ah, well, you see, the pigs were a heavy-handed metaphor, dear.
I guess. Like I said, I still have trauma from the friggin' pig chapter.
Firelight appreciates the iconic line, "Still pigs though, and then fire."
Although I feel bad because, pigs are adorable and I want a pig. And does Layla deserve to be a pig? A cute little piggy pig?
Maybe Firelight appends maybe a tusked Layla and has a fanged piglet in one hand and a torch in the other.
Why am I making this hedgehog so complex? I have more things to get to, but I want to draw a cute. It's so cute. Wait till you see it. It's cute.
KJ mentions you could make Layla a tusked hog in a dress with Tobias' name painted on the dress.
I do Layla as a pig with Tobias as a golden retriever on a leash in her cloven hoof. All right, wait, I gotta sign it. There he is. Look at how cute. I made him knitting a scarf while he's roasting the marshmallows. That's right. All I want to do is draw adorable animals. 5. All right. I've done 5. Now I'm going to have to look up pigs to figure out what Layla. We've actually done a golden retriever and a toga in one of our other drawings. I forget which one it was. It's like 3 sessions ago. I can't remember. What am I? Oh yeah, pig.
Hedgehogs are secretly complicated because of the spine.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't do all of the spines. I just do like the vague shape of a hedgehog, and then add some little like scruffles.
Alright. I think that's going to be. Is that number 4 or number 5?
I think I have 5, and I'm on 6. Let me count. 1,
6.
2,
When you look
3,
back
4,
through.
5. Yes, I'm working on 6.
Are you working on Leela?
Yes, Pig Layla. Actually, I'm making her. I'm making her a boar.
We still have Sophie Moose, Finnick, Kingfisher, and Doctor Strange Mammoth. Those could be your final 3.
Probably not doing the moose one. But technically, our friend's dog being named Leela, the character that we're referring to, her name is Layla. Leela is from Futurama. Leela and Fry are both from Futurama. That's why their dogs are named Leela and Fry.
KJ has added a mouse as a circus ringleader.
You sure it's a mouse this time and not a moose?
Nope.
Yay, dyslexia! I saw a reel earlier that was like, if you can read this all perfectly and haven't realized the words are rearranged, you're probably dyslexic. And yes, I could, and I had not realized the words were rearranged. And it took me a great deal of concentration to see the words as rearranged. So, yeah. But also, that's a part of dyslexia that people don't think about, because they always think about the words like arranging themselves so they don't make sense. But a lot of the time, especially with my own writing, the words arrange themselves so they do make sense. And so I'll have sentences with words out of order, but I won't notice, which is why it's so important for me to have an editor. Don't know how to, like, I've made a lovely boar head, but I don't know how to turn it into Layla.
Stick it in a dress.
I'm sticking it in a dress, and I'm giving it little eyelashes because that's what you do in like Disney and stuff. The girl ones get
big wide eyes and long eyelashes.
The girl ones get eyelashes. Where are you going, Adam?
Check out the kitty cats.
Ah.
Okay, it comes to the screen.
It's awfully hot to be visited by kitty cats. The fact that I'm making Layla as a big fuzzy boar does remind me of the scene where she sits on Flynn's shoulders and they don't have underwear in Thesson, so he's got her hairy bits right up against his shoulders and neck. You're welcome for that mental image, everyone. Sorry, it's kind of boring while Adam is gone. He's the real entertainment of this party.
That's right. I'm the real entertainment here.
Can't even see yourself because I'm looking at pictures of
I can
boars.
so.
Oh, he's cheating.
Hedgehog as a circus ringleader, give the pig a laurel crown. And apparently there's a thing where if all the letters are all there and the first and last one are right, you can still read it. Firelight mentions, in addition to your dyslexic conversation.
I think I've seen that too.
The chat's willingness to let humanity die has killed my next prompt because I was going to change the scenario, being like, well, this destroyed humanity, or that destroyed humanity, or this is how you bring them back, or that is how you bring them back. And everyone's just like, doesn't matter, fuck humanity, they don't get to come back. So I'm like, oh, I can't run through scenarios. They're all going to be, don't bring them back.
Sorry, Adam. You're just too inclined to like humanity in general.
I'm an optimist. I see hope for the future. KJ says we could pretend. And yes, I could pretend, but I know what all of your answers are going to be.
What your answers really are.
Okay. How about this? When humanity finally kicks the
Wait,
bucket-
I've got a postcard. All right, here's Layla as a boar with a little fanged piggy pig. There she is. It's very hard to get the boar face right. All right, I have to pee, so you guys have your conversation and come up with something else for me to draw, and I'll return.
Now, Margaret's geek mentioned, if humanity wiped itself out, then bringing them back just means they'll probably do it again. But think of all of the dreams and amazing things they can do in the meantime, though, before it happens again. And KJ has a scenario. If you were to bring humanity back, would you make yourself the leader? Would humanity have to follow your rules? So I would endeavor to instill a moral code that would guide us to a better future and hopefully avoid whatever killed us in the first place. But I've yet to design a moral dictatorship that can, an enlightened despot is the best of all possible governments. But I've yet to figure out how to make the inheritor of the enlightened despot also enlightened. So I'd probably do a democracy and we'd eventually lead to faith. I hope you're all enjoying the Talking Pillow stream. If I had...
You had...
So, KJ mentions that if you're bringing all of humanity back, it kind of makes you a deity. And I don't like the implications behind that, but I don't want to be a deity. But yes, I would love to make humanity better humans.
Do it again, but suck less.
Yeah.
Oh dear, we're down to 4 again. All right.
Well, they weren't entertained by the talking pillow in your absence.
I'm sorry about the talking pillow, everyone. I should have got a stuffed animal and stuck it there.
Alright, so we got Sophie Moose, Finnick Kingfisher, Doctor Strange, Mammoth, Hedgehog as a circus leader, Mouse as a circus ringleader.
Why is the circus theme? I'm curious.
Wasn't one of the people you were hazing, Intergalactic Circus or whatever, an author of?
That's a different person.
Oh, never mind. I don't know. Alright, instead, y'all are giving up on humanity. So humanity's gone. Which species would you prefer inherit the Earth and become the next to rise to sentience? And also, KJ is out of ideas. That's why they're just doing different circusy things. They've already given us 5 great ideas, and you're not drawing the last of them.
I'm drawing the kingfisher one. I don't know how to make it finicky necessarily. Like what makes something finnick? What about him?
A trident?
Yeah, that's all I can think of is try to give this bird a trident. Trident and
leotards?
a trident and an attitude. Like I never drawn a
Trident
kingfisher
and attitude.
before. Never drawn a kingfisher before. They're kind of a funny shape.
KJ wants dogs to inherit the Earth. Marvelous Geek mentions that octopi are ridiculously smart, which is true. But would you like to see octopi inherit the Earth, or would you rather something else inherit the Earth?
I want corvids to inherit the earth. We're already all set.
Me too.
They can use all the junk that we left behind as their tools and just keep it pushing.
I don't know if corvids are doing this, but I've enjoyed the images of birds using anti-bird spikes to make their nests.
Oh yeah, no, corvids are like, for lack of a better term, spearheading this movement. They're making their spike nests to keep other birds out because they have figured out what the spikes are for and are using them for their intended purpose.
KJ agrees that corvids are amazing. I wonder, can corvid beaks manipulate touch screens?
Probably.
Well, touch screens are designed to work with fleshy bits, and beaks are like nails.
True, but don't some respond to pressure?
Maybe. So I want you to draw a corvid manipulating a control to fly a drone of food over. This is my next stage. If I manage to befriend the corvids, I want to get a digital device out there so they can like push a button and have a drone come drop off food for them.
Oh my goodness, they will be having that drone. That drone will be working nonstop.
Must train my corvids.
Future corvid army.
Firelight suggests a fishnet for a tube. Octopi, doggies, quarter bids. Is that? I believe there's at least one more lurker out there who has not shared who they would wish to inherit the earth.
They're probably just listening, trying to mind their own business.
No. Do not mind your own business.
Mind our business instead.
Yes.
All of these complicated drawings are just making more work for myself because I have to ink them and color them.
KJ mentions trees. That'd be cool. Sentient trees inherit the earth.
You are really into trees.
I am into trees. Trying to grow them. KJ also loves trees. I don't know if we've shared our tree endeavors with your stream. And
I don't remember.
We did plant 600 trees, 600 or 700-ish trees this spring. And I've been hauling 700 gallons of water up to them every week for most of the summer because we've been in a drought.
Yep. Haven't done that in a while. We did get some rain.
We've been getting rain pretty regularly the last 2 weeks. I'll have to look at the schedule, the forecast for this week, and I might have to water them again. No, Firelight, what did you say? Why is it retracted? What did you retract?
We'll never know.
Or maybe we'll apply the peer pressure and they will cave and share the retracted words. Welcome back, Firelight. I was asking if y'all let humanity vanish, vanquish, and die, which species would you like to leave the Earth to? Which would you rather become sentient next?
Oh, you know it'd be good. You know who's good at collaboration, generally likes everyone no matter what they look like, and is just generally just all around good and friendly and sweet.
Dog?
No, rats.
Rats? Yes.
Rats are good at cooperation. They're very clever. They're super, they'll be friends with anybody, doesn't matter what they look like. Rats.
They already know how to drive. Yeah, they have done a lot of fun experiments with rats. They're very emotionally intelligent creatures.
Yep.
Very smart, as KJ says.
What district is Finnick from? What number? Everybody?
Is it 3? Which one is the fishing district?
I don't know. I'm asking. Somebody else must know.
Four, says Brother Bing.
Good old Brother Bing.
Dodos. Firelight wants dodos to inherit the Earth.
That does not surprise me.
Firelight suggests you could draw silver wing characters.
Like the bats?
I don't know what silver wing is.
Right, you just told me the district and I immediately forgot.
4. Yes, silver wings are bats. Yes, it's a bat.
I read those books when I was like a little kiddo. It's been a long time. I liked them when I was a little kiddo. All right, here's Kingfisher Finnick. He certainly exists. Kingfishers are a weird shape, actually.
All right, what number?
All right,
Yes,
I think
it was District 4, but how many was that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-huh. 2 more. I know. Hey, there's 6 people watching again. Nice, nice, nice. All right, 2 more. Make them easy ones. I have 6 or 7. I'm not already doubting myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yes, 2 more. 8, 9.
So we have the mouse circus leader, the hedgehog circus leader. We have Sophie as a moose. We have Doctor Strange as a mammoth. We have the corvids with a remote control.
Ooh, I could do a corvid. I'd have to look at them. Birds are. I don't draw that many birds, so I always have to look at them.
We do always have the hummingbird cameo possibility. Yes, Violet, we did just do Kingfisher Finnick, but I copy pasted and I just hit Control V again to refresh myself instead of scrolling through the chat. Oh yes, the bats, the Silverwing bats were also recommended. That's a good option. All right, so I am going to regale the chat with a story of winged Karens. So,
Winged Karens?
Yes, winged Karens.
Okay.
So the previous owners to the place we're at planted a lot of flowers about the place that are actually pretty ideal for hummingbirds. But we're now getting to almost fall, and many of those flowers are dying off. So the hummingbirds in the area are depending more and more on the ever-flowing flower that is our hummingbird feeder. And we let it run dry, and we took a couple days to get around to refilling it. And I was out there reading Adventurer Mage 3 in the Fairy Bower, and the hummingbirds were checking out the feeder and coming back to it and confirming, yep, it's still empty. And finally, on their third visit of checking that the hummingbird feeder was empty, and that I, a human, was still out there, the Karen hummingbird flew down like basically a foot in front of my face and just like hovered there staring at me, being like, hello, human, I happen to notice that your feeder is still empty. Maybe you should go fill it.
You with the grabby hands. Let's do this thing. It is endlessly entertaining to me how so many different animals realize that humans are useful for our grabby hands and will often come to us like for the use of our grabby hands if they get into a situation and they realize that they're in a situation that requires hands, like, oh no, my ducklings have fallen into this water grate. I need a human with grabby hands to get them out. It's just like so many situations where animals have come to be like, you with the hands.
So I did fill it up for them and made a new feeder, and they immediately started swarming it and fighting each other over it. So they were very grateful, and now they've been basically
grateful, entitled.
They've been going through it in 3 to 4 days now. So like I think I've made like a gallon's worth for them, pretty near. But yes. So that is my Karen hummingbird story. And that has inspired Firelight to suggest Prim as a hummingbird.
What makes Prim Primmy? What is a characteristic about her that would be included in a hummingbird?
Primmy. Her little medic satchel?
It's like maybe her... She has braids, right?
In the movie, yes. I don't know about the book. I know what makes Prim Primmy. Bombs. We could give a bunch of bombs that's floating around them.
No, that's all right.
KJ mentioned animals are always like, you have thumbs, you do it. And yes, Firelight, the humming. Well, The hummingbird did not speak to the manager. They spoke to the staff, which is me. They were very disappointed that the manager, Julian, was not up there and had not already taken care of it.
I was slow to take care of it. That's on me.
Firelight mentions that Prim has their medicine and potions and things, and their cat. So you should make Prim the hummingbird with a cat.
You have a cat
Me
somehow.
cat, yes.
Always making everything more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, we have another vote for Prim's cat. They also had a goat, scruffy cat, and a
They
goat.
did. The goat's name was Lady.
All right, so the little hummingbird, and in
A
each of
goat
its
and a
claws,
cat.
it has a little stuffy, and one is a cat stuffy, and one is a goat stuffy.
How do I draw a drone?
There are many different types, but it's just kind of like a box with 4 circles around it, and like a package underneath.
Drawing technology is not my strong suit.
I mean, you didn't have to do the drone. I figured you'd just do the coordinate and the remote.
Well, it needed to be piloting something.
True.
I'm just going to write the word drone on it, and then everyone will know that that's what that's supposed to be.
Should write Acme drone on it.
I don't have enough room. It's pretty small.
Write smaller letters,
It's very small, Adam.
even smaller.
Do you guys see what I have to put up with? He's so demanding.
So amazing, you mean?
So demanding. I was going to try to make the drone holding food, but I can't, so.
It's just a package.
It doesn't even vaguely look like a drone, but it does say the word drone on it, so that's good enough for me. All right, here he is.
Let me see. Let us see. All right, yeah, I'm figuring that out.
See?
Yep,
See?
Yep.
Drone, it says.
Welcome, Nico.
Oh, Nico, you're here in time for the very last one. Nico, do you have any suggestions?
And is it Prim as a hummingbird with a goat stuffy and a cat stuffy?
And let Nico have a chance to make a suggestion, just cause.
We all know what Nico's suggestion should be.
Mm-hmm. It's so warm here.
Nico asks what the theme is, and
The
we're
theme
doing
is-
Dapper. For a
It was
while.
kind of like a little bit of a theme of Dapper, but that's about it. Like right now, it's just panic because Julian is super late at making the postcards, and August is almost over. This month. What the hell? Next year, can we like try to not fill up our July and August quite so full?
We are going to try to start making the habit of penning off on the calendar an official weekend every month where Julian has no obligation.
I need that so much.
And then you can decide to fill it with obligations, such as your live stream.
I have done that. Hang on, I might still have them.
Suggests a frog with a bow tie and...
Hang on, I'll be right back, everybody.
All right, we are once again having the speaking pillow.
I did. I've drawn him before. Wait. I often have an extra one, just in case, and he was the extra one for the frog drawing stream. Eventually, I'll just start giving out the extra ones.
All right, so Prim has
Hummingbird.
a hummingbird riding a frog.
Riding a frog. Riding a dapper frog. No, I need to be less complicated, Adam. Less complicated.
To make it easy for you, you could just do a goatee. You're good at goatees.
I'm okay at goatees.
You know goatees well. Nico now suggests a bee.
A bee?
A bee.
Maybe I'll just add a bee. Ooh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to do the hummingbird, but I'm going to take it in a slightly different direction.
KJ suggests hummingbird with a handbag asking to speak to the manager.
A Karen hummingbird. I was surprised that nobody suggested that as soon as Adam said it. Need a little a Karen haircut. Hummingbirds are kind of round and at the same time not.
We are up to 8 viewers now. Thank you, everyone who has come to poke and prod Julian as they attempt to make art.
I'm very sorry about the lateness of this stream. This month has been a lot.
It is only the 20th. If anything, you should just apologize for the abruptness of the stream, not the late.
It's late and abrupt. It's both things.
Firelight is taking it to an extreme. Prim as a hummingbird if she grew up to be a Karen. KJ concurs that this month has indeed been a nightmare. It must be something in the air, such as maybe Canada on fire in the air.
Oh, that was mostly last month. A little bit this month still.
This world is on fire. Firelight concurs. August has been full of false starts. It's August's fault. Not even a real month. Some random ass emperor just made it up and pushed it in there, all willy nilly.
Apparently, though, they have August in the dragon book that I'm reading, because the author didn't even try, and they just have the same months as us.
I can understand doing the same months unless you're doing a different number and there's a very specific reason for your different number. It's like coming up with a race that is exactly like dwarves but calling them something else.
I don't know, I usually don't mention months, I just do seasons. So instead of saying it's August, I'd be like, it's late summer. Kind of covers my bases.
KJ mentions where they live, they always get smoked out by California wildfires. They understand the Canada wildfires.
Canada decided it just had to be on fire this summer.
KJ agrees. They're also a seasons girl. They don't write months. But Nico mentions that Tolkien did that. Didn't they come up with their own original months? And I'm assuming they did.
A lot of authors do. I mean, that sounds like something Tolkien would 100% do, yes. But I mean, a lot of authors do, because it's one of those little things. It's that little extra that you can add to your fantasy book that makes it clear it's in another world that's not ours. So I'm team make up your own damn months, but Adam disagrees a bit.
If your story doesn't get any value from having a specific month, then don't mention it. I can get behind that. But if you get value from mentioning a specific month, well, most stories are just fine if you keep the same months. You should only make up and invent new months if there's a reason to. Like, you had a different empire with a different emperor, so all of the months are the same except for August, which is named after the new emperor.
But what if the planet, I'm assuming that this book with the dragons is taking place on an entirely different planet from Earth. So why would the months have the same names? Different
Because-
mythology, different gods, different everything.
Because naming them differently doesn't add to the story. It's like in Star Wars, why don't the other planets have different gravities than Earth? Why in the movies do they all accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared? Because changing that doesn't add to the story.
And yes, I agree that changing some things doesn't need to happen and doesn't add to the story. But I argue that months being different does add to the fantasy story.
It can. It absolutely can. But it rarely does. It is rare that an author writes it in such a way that it's actually any different.
I'm going to disagree.
Well, just share me authors you feel have done a good job.
Most of the fantasy authors I read don't bother mentioning the months. They do the same thing I do because they don't have to come up with their own,
Mhm.
but also they don't have to be like, why is there August in my fantasy world? Like, how did August happen in my fantasy world?
Nico mentions they just do harvest season, planting season, etc. So they're on board with not mentioning a month. Firelight is frustrated by this because they're working on a sci-fi and they have to come up with what a year is for two different nations across multiple planets. Because time is important in their story. Yep.
I would think someone like you, Adam, Captain World Building would be all about like, let's make new months.
Well, I mean, it has to add to the story though. I know what my pet peeves are, but I know what of my pet peeves don't make a good story. And just random ass coming up with different months that do the exact same thing doesn't add anything. But like Firelight, different planets, they have different orbits around their sun. If their societies measure a year by an orbit around the sun, it's going to be a different length of time. And if they want to divide it, even if they choose to divide it into 12 equal increments, they will be different. They will have different number of days in them. Days will be different hours. And then, yeah. But KJ, do they measure a year by an orbit around their sun? Sorry, Firelight, not KJ. My apologies. KJ mentions they have one fantasy story where there are no set seasons because the magic is so strong that weather systems can't form around the magic, and it has really screwed with the harvest calendars.
I imagine.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it. And yeah, that would definitely screw with the harvest calendar. That's the most intense they got with describing months in a year in their fantasy.
All right, I don't need to look at the hummingbird picture anymore, so I can actually like go back to the live. Why did I decide to draw such complicated things this month?
You always do.
Not always, just frequently.
With bated breath to see if Firelight will share anything about their year so far. KJ blames August. You're drawing so much complicated things because August.
Did anybody watch the tarot reading for August? Does anybody remember like what it was? I think it was kind of like brace for impact. I don't know if anybody on this stream keeps up with my now separate tarot channel.
So I'm randomly scrolling Facebook and I have come up with something interesting. So our old place where we used to live had a stretch of road that is like, for being in the middle of nowhere, has a disproportionately large number of cars that end up upside down in the ditch. And apparently it just happened again yesterday.
think people just get really overconfident driving on that road because it's a county highway, so everybody goes like super fast. The speed limit is 55, but everybody goes 65, sometimes 75. They're just screaming on down that road.
I always blamed your goats. I imagine that they do weird and amazing things that you don't expect the goat to do, and people are like, "What the?" as they pass the goat, and then they don't notice the road doing stuff, and then they end up in a ditch.
All right, here is Prim as a hummingbird with her cat as a bee.
Cat bee.
Cat bee. All right, let me just double check that I actually have done 9. 1, 2.
A Marvelous Geek
4,
did their months and seasons, their last
6,
novel attempt based on the 3
8,
major
9.
deities
Yes,
in
9.
their religion, based off a unique religion. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what is the religion of your world? And that could be a really good way to bounce into months.
Firelight goes back. In their sci-fi one, they're giving them each a homework to base all their time on. And then there's an additional time system based on a central event important to both nations.
There you go. All right. So I have all of them done. They're all out of order, but I'll just go through them again so we can all see. Here we have the hedgehog knitting a scarf and roasting marshmallows with his spikes. We have I Am Knuff Orca. We have the Dapper Octopus. We have the dapper and very polite hedgehog who's waiting for a bus. A unicorn, because I felt like drawing a unicorn, and I always draw what I feel like at the beginning of the stream. Layla from the Savior series as a boar with a little piggy that has fangs in honor of the pig challenge.
The pig.
The pig challenge. Finnick as a kingfisher. A corvid remote controlling a drone. Trust me, that's a drone. Don't ask questions. And finally, Prim as a hummingbird with her little cat as a bee. I did originally give her a braid, but hummingbirds look stupid with hair, so she gets a little medical bag instead. Couldn't make the hair look good. All right, that is all 9, and then I get to ink them and color them and try to get them out before August is over.
Thank you all very much for those of you who joined the stream and kept me company as my spouse doodled away, ignoring me.
I appreciate your presence as ever, everyone. And our conversations about seasons, and hopefully we will finish off August, and September will be better. Maybe. At least I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to get a stream at a reasonable time in September. So at least there's that. All right, everyone. Give you a chance to say goodbye, and then we shall depart. Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Bye. Back to salsa. Yay. Bye.
Too late.
Maybe.